Welcome to the lunation situation. We are talking about the new moon in Aquarius occurring January 29th at 9 degrees of Aquarius. So this is going to be a very interesting new moon. Of course, new moons are always a beginning, a fresh cycle, a fresh start, incoming energies that is a clean slate, a new storyline. And what a big storyline that may be, because officially from this lunation on, both the mean node and the true node are now in Pisces. Now the difference between mean node and true node is that mean node takes into calculation the retrogrades, the backwards movements of the arbitrary changes. That's the difference. It's a small, detailed difference in calculation. So, you will have astrologers that follow the true node and you'll have astrologers that follow the mean node. To me, generally, I prefer the mean node. It doesn't really matter. So from January 12th until now, January 29th, 30th, we are in Pisces North Node storyline. And I made a very in-depth video about that if you want to learn more, because we're working with 18 months of a very, very strong Piscean theme that's like a collective blanket over everyone. And especially if you have planets or points in Pisces, this is very significant for you. And if you have planets and points in Virgo, this is very, very important for you. But even if you have planets and points in Sagittarius and Gemini, you might be affected, because we're going into eclipse seasons in March and September, where this Piscean and Virgo themes will be extra turbo highlighted in our experiences. So it's relevant to know that. And even in this lunation, we're going to see that really the Pisces theme is so strong. So even when we're talking about a new moon in Aquarius, or any other new moon from now on, or any full moon from now on, we are experiencing very strong Piscean themes. And, intuitively, I feel these are related, because Aquarius and Pisces, they are the 11th and 12th sign of the zodiac. So they are both very advanced energies, highly awakening to the truth, to your authentic power, to your soul self, and really awakening to the energetic reality of all there is. And so the energetic reality and then the spiritual reality, I feel, are really intertwined. And I think that's also why in the constellation of Aquarius, it's the water bearer that has an urn or a pot or a clay, whatever, that spills water into our consciousness. And so Aquarius has a very strong water theme anyway. And, it has, the symbolism is even like two waves. So it's very interconnected with the Piscean energy, I feel, always. Because as I said, it's the very high ascension energies of really expanding your awareness into the unseen reality, which is vaster and bigger than the seen so-called material reality. So a new moon occurring at 9 degrees of Aquarius is of course very relevant if you have something around 9 degrees of Aquarius. So let's give and take 3 degrees above and below. So from 6 degrees of Aquarius until 11 degrees of Aquarius, this new moon hits you personally. But also if you have between 6 and 11 degrees of Gemini and also Libra, you'll get the kiss of the universe to start a new page, a new storyline. So this is excellent to clear your head and to be very aware of what you want, and write down your hopes and wishes, because that's actually what Aquarius is also about, as it's the 11th sign of the zodiac, which is about hopes and wishes and, you know, the dreams, the desires. And what's different about Aquarius from other signs is that it's not about itself or solely itself anymore, but it's also considering the other. So when we have dreams and wishes in an Aquarius energy, it's not just to benefit you, yourself, and your ego, but no, it's also to benefit the people around you and, you know, bigger groups around you, the tribe that you're associated with, or the tribe you would like to attract. So generally, Aquarius is taking into account humanity, the benefits for the grander good of many, not just yourself. And so we're invited with this energy to also think about in what way are you serving community, the greater good, everyone, with who you are. Because, you know, I really see a very strong connection with that. Aquarius is also ruled by Uranus, and both represent uniqueness, you know, stepping into your authentic frequency, your authentic identity. And generally that is discarding everything you're not, discarding everything you were taught, and really to stand with bravery in who you are, in your essence, and that is your original self. It's your soul self, and that is different. Everyone is created maybe equally, but created uniquely. And so there's something about you specifically that is of great service for this entire experience. So it's time to get that out. Who are you? Why are you so special? And what do you have to contribute to the benefit of many? But you do that by first standing very strongly in who you are, right? So you have to know who you are. That is your strength. That is your greatest power. And if you're still on that journey, which is fine, we're all on this journey. It's never over until our last breath, really. So discover who you are. You know, it's 9 degrees of Aquarius, so it has that flavor of Sagittarius over it. So explore, go on adventure, discover who you are, go into new territory, new, perhaps, new lands, new cultures, new languages, and see new sides of yourself and how you can be more truly yourself. And really, unfortunately, all of us are taught so many inauthentic characteristics and even desires. So it's quite a journey, okay? It's quite a process to undo all that you are not. And like, is this really me, or is it something that was taught to me, was told to me? And it's very difficult to find what it is that you are. And it's about, you know, leaning into more and more that you think you feel, the intuition that guides you. And along the way, you'll have so many epiphanies, because Aquarius and Uranus are about that, right? Shocks of awakening, of epiphanies, of aha moments that bring you deeper and deeper into awareness, into higher consciousness of who you are, but also the general truths such as history or the future, because these are both very futuristic energies as well. You know, when we speak of Aquarius or Uranus as ruler, we are always thinking about the quantum. So it's always about higher frequencies, the energetic connection of everything being interconnected, and how does that then work, and what kind of effects does this have? And obviously this story is also very closely linked to Pluto stepping into Aquarius, since November 19th of last year, and it's going to stay in Aquarius for 20 years. So the Aquarian theme is very, very strong. Just like the Piscean energy is now strong for the coming 1.5 years, Aquarius energy is going to be much stronger. It's going to affect the coming 20 years. So this is the first, I guess, new moon in Aquarius where we have Pluto to stay. So I highly also advise you to watch my Pluto Aquarius video if you want to be more aware of what Aquarius is, what Uranus is about, and what the Pluto effect is about, because it's kind of intertwined, what I said. But when we look into the chart, because this is a mega new beginning story, right? At least the coming 6 months that you can bring the light, bring the fertility into these Aquarius parts of your chart. So when we look at the chart, there's only really one aspect that this lunation makes, and that is positive. It's making a trine to Jupiter. Jupiter is still retrograde in Gemini, but only has a week left. So there's almost, I would say, that Jupiter is at a standstill from our earthly perspective. So there's also a momentum because it's in the shift of ending its retrograde and then moving direct again. So what does that mean? It's starting to get into its full power. And that means the shift is from an internal Jupiterian energy, so healing, expanding your mind, expanding your skills, expanding your awareness, but it's very much about your thoughts and your communication, as well as more awareness of the words you use, and definitely more awareness of what you want to learn and expand within yourself. And when it goes direct in 1 week, now it's external. So now you can make, between this lunation and 1 week on, there's a strong momentum to make new choices regarding expanding your mind, expanding your vision, expanding skills, expanding your knowledge, really. So it's very normal to maybe take new classes, enroll in something, or really follow your curiosity. This new moon says that it's highly beneficial. A trine from Jupiter is one of the most beneficial things in astrology anyway. So I would say that there is a very cosmic support in this 9 degrees Aquarius journey. And, because Jupiter is at 11 degrees of Gemini, this area of your chart is getting that oomph, that kiss from the universe as well. So you're supported in both around the 9 degrees Aquarius area of your chart, as well as the 11 degrees of Gemini area of your chart. So look at the houses where both 9 degrees of Aquarius falls in and 11 degrees of Jupiter falls in, because these house topics is something that you can expand now. It's something that you can be more aware of, that you can learn, that you can learn the skills of, like, let's say Jupiter's in your 12th house, then you can expand, therapies around the unseen, maybe expanding your awareness of the dream life, what's going on in dreams. And so you look at the house that these things, these planets fall into, and that is what you're expanding, and that's what you're learning right now, and that's what's going to bring you a lot of abundance, prosperity, protection, and just overall growth, and blessings, really. Because it's the only aspect that the lunation is making, we can look right at the ruler, which is Uranus. Uranus is currently, during this lunation, retrograde, but within a day it is direct. So also not just Jupiter that's moving from backwards to forwards. It's also Uranus that's having a huge momentum and it's pulling its energy back. And so Uranus is turning direct, which means it's in its power, it's ready to shock, it's ready to awaken everyone, it's ready to create breakthroughs, and it's bringing the great desire for freedom and liberation back into our actions, our desires, our thoughts. Like I said, huge desire for originality, your authentic frequency that is your power, and just massive insights about who you are, the reality you're in, the stuff you want to create, the stuff you want to manifest, the directions you want to go into, which are very different. And it can also bring a lot of excitement for us. Uranus is a quick and very charged, energetic energy about changes. It's a wild card energy, and it's going to shake us awake. That's occurring around 23 degrees of Taurus. So the ruler Uranus is making two aspects. Both are sextiles. One is to Mars, still retrograde in the Crab at 21 degrees. We still have 1 month of Mars retrograde to go. So we are, past the half point. And, if you felt like me, that you were very lethargic, that it was hard to do anything, hard to get up really, and just much more difficult to get out, to do, to complete. And we just do not have the motivation that we normally would have. So if you've not been going to the gym as much as you did before, and this is kind of the Mars retrograde energy, but the sextile with Uranus is that we are awakening to the kind of goals you want to have in life. Of course, this is very intertwined with that lunation energy because it's a new moon. So we are setting new goals because we have new insights, we have new information, we have new knowledge, and that makes us want different goals. So we want to have a solid foundation. We want to have a material life that nourishes very deeply, a material life, a reality that we are proud of, that we feel good at, that feels safe. So we're looking for new heartfelt goals, motivations, desires. What we want is changing. And so you might also receive a lot of epiphanies about that. And it's really, it's really about changing your interests. And then the other sextile that Uranus is making is of course also then a trine to this Mars, and that is the little stellium that's going on at the end of Pisces. So like I said, the North Node is in Pisces, then it is like right together with Neptune, and then Venus is very close by as well. We're talking 25, 27, and 28 degrees of Pisces. So what's this about? Well, I saw this sextile approximately, I would say, maybe 2 years ago, or like 1.5 years ago. And I heard a song in true Pisces fashion. I heard A Whole New World, like that Pocahontas song. And Pisces, the North Node Pisces journey and Pisces itself is very much about dreams, imagination, romance, high creative expression, angelic energies, the spiritual life, your soul essence, intuition, emotions, the unseen parts of life. And it's very psychic, it's highly intuitive, and it can move between different realms, different realities, which is why it's also about the dream state, right? Your dreams, literally. So our interests are changing, like I said, our motivations and goals are changing, and it is changing because of that awakening of who we are, of our authentic selves, and that we are a soul essence, and that there is divinity, and that there is indeed a whole world that is unseen to us, but we might receive skills that make the current unseen world more seen, more understood. So, you can advance your psychic abilities, you can enhance your intuitional powers, and this is going to change what you want in your life. Because if you know that you're a soul and that you're not just earth bound, not just earth based, then there is a limiting interest in money, possessions. Not that that's not important, but it's not more important than other things. It's not your sole goal in life, because you know as a soul that this is only temporary. And when you live with an awareness that one day you won't be here, and that all that you've accumulated, that you worked so hard for, or that somehow came to you, is just not going to be yours, okay? All the clothes you possess, all the stuff you're buying, where's it all going to go to? Is it all going to be at a land fill? Is it going to be in the garbage when you're not here? I know it's a bit extreme, but I think we're all understanding more and more that, this materialism, this capitalism, which is, an extreme focus and attention on money, positions, and like success, driven by that, by the accumulation of stuff, that it's just a little strange what we're doing. And we're creating heaviness on earth, that, with all our stuff. And at the same time, never in, I think, the history of recorded history have there been so many depressed people in the world. I think the World Health Organization would say like more than 50% or something from the world population is like depressed. And, unsatisfied. Because real value is not in that, right? That's the illusionary part of Pisces. We've been lied to of what really is important. None of those things will ever make you feel fulfilled, because what you're really looking for is energetic stuff. And you're looking for connection. You're looking for love. You're looking for meaning. And so from now on, we are moving into that direction of meaning, connection, and love. Because it's related to the Pisces energy, and it's related to the Aquarian energy as well. So our goals have to be bigger, grander, because we know and understand the effect of things, because we understand more and more that we are interconnected, and that has a different cause, that there are consequences to what we do. And because we are now more aware of the consequences, we realize we want different things. We want different experiences. And the Uranus Taurus is always about what is valuable, what is important, what is essential for you. And that it has to be about feeling good. Our goals, our motivations, our interests are now leveling up. We are moving into the quantum. And what is the quantum about? It's the idea that everything is energy, that everything is interconnected. And when we understand that everything is a certain frequency, we can now change our experiences through the changes in frequency. So quantum leaps, jumping timelines, changing your energetic experience, basically changing your reality is what we're doing now. And so think about, with all of this, then what are your new hopes and wishes for you and for the greater good? What is so important to you, and what would you like to achieve that is energetic, not material? So that is a question, really. That is what we're answering here with this new moon. And then we have that window of opportunity, the coming 6 months, to bring this into fruition, into creation. As the coming 6 months, is that very magical time of massive planetary changes, including its ruler of this lunation, Uranus dipping its toe into Gemini very soon in the summer season, is that we're also wrapping up this Taurian energy that Uranus has been in for the last 7 years. How have your values changed? How has it changed what you find important? What are your new goals, interests, and insights? What are your new hopes and wishes? That's it. Write them down, track them. And the Aquarius way is to envision them. Hold the vision. And kind of understand, or come into understanding, what frequency that is. And of course, you have to keep developing into more and more of your authentic, original self, so that you can attract these authentic experiences that you desire. So are you an energetic match to what you want, basically? So it seems that we're in for major revelations, major awakenings, and that these have very big consequences. But Fortunus says this chart, right? And I'm going to leave you with a few extra details that's going on. First of all, this is the 4th new moon, consecutive new moon, that is occurring at 9 degrees. So we've been working with the Sagittarius degree since November 1st, when we had a new moon at 9 degrees of Scorpio. Then we had a new moon at 9 degrees of Sagittarius, December 1st. Then we had a 9 degrees new moon in Capricorn, December 30th. And now we embark on a 9 degrees new moon in Aquarius, January 29th. And that means we have one more new moon left after this one that also occurs at 9 degrees, and that is the Pisces new moon occurring February 28th. And then we have completed 5 consecutive new moons at 9 degrees. And when you do 5 times 9, you end up with 45. When you add 4 and 5, that's 9 again. So this is important, interesting, that we have so many new moons at 9 degrees when we have embarked on a 9-year this year in 2025. So 9 is about completions, revelations, spiritual awakening, and the changing of our goals because things are ending and because we're starting a new big journey. And I think related, another 9 cycle actually is the North Node cycle. The North Node was in Pisces 18 years ago, around 2006 and 2007. So if you want to know what the North Node Pisces journey is going to bring you, think back to 2006 and 7. You might experience similar things or similar energies, the way you felt and the way you were about it. You're having a checking in point, and hopefully, of course, growth and a expansion of what was then and what is now. But 9 years ago, we had a different checking in point because the North Node was in Virgo. Now it's in the South Node is in Virgo. So 9 years ago, around 2016, was where we were in the middle of that 18-year journey. So 9 years ago, something different changed than from 2006 and 7. So for me, that was a very clear 18-year journey. 2006, 7, a whole magical journey started for me until 2016, quite literally, astrologically. It was like 9 years of light. And then from 2016 until last year, it was almost 9 years of darkness, of going really deep into the subconscious. Dark nights of the soul, great healing work, facing the shadows. And now after 18 years, which means 2 9-year cycles, we are back at it with a whole different experience, with awakening, with learning, with expansion, that we're ready for a very new and interesting 18-year cycle, right? So that's another 9-year subject related to the North Node in Pisces. Other details we have in the chart, and that is, this Mars retrograde is squaring Chiron, so we might be a little bit sensitive in the background about triggers, about stuff coming up from the deep, from our childhood, traumatic recurring emotions that need to be healed. But you might also come into awareness of what these things are so that you can accept and clear the baggage from your life. Another detail is a little profound and deep. There's a huge cosmic situation going on in the background, and since Aquarius is about the cosmos, about the quantum, about the energetic, I think this is relevant to mention. What's going on is that there is a grand cosmic cross in the background. And what does that mean? It is really ignited by these planets and points in Pisces. So we have the super galactic center, which is the massive black hole of our neighboring galaxy called Andromeda at around the beginning of Libra, okay? Which is quite opposite the current North Node in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, and actually now also Venus in Pisces, okay? So that's an opposition between the supergalactic center, a massive black hole of our neighboring galaxy, remember? But it's also squaring our own supermassive black hole in our galaxy, which is called the Milky Way. And that occurs around 27 degrees of Sagittarius. And opposite our galactic center, the black hole of our galaxy, we have Polaris, which is our guiding star, our fixed star, our true north. That has been our North Star, our North Pole, our guiding star for a very long time. I come into this knowledge, I have to, of course, say that I've learned a lot of this by fellow astrologer called the Cosmic Space Witch, and she describes how this Polaris opposition with our massive black hole in the galactic center in Sagittarius is like an axis mundi, like a tree of life, like a basis of our galaxy, our earthly experience, really. And there is another opposition because of all this Pisces energy opposite the supergalactic center. So it's creating a huge galactic cross of 2 oppositions and 4 squares. That's a very intense discomfort, a push, massive push for change. But this is going galactically and cosmically. So this is not just Earth. It is, of course, earthly co-related, but it's really about the cosmos. So it's very kind of far, but because we're all interconnected, because of the quantum field, as above, so below, and as below, so above. So this is going on above. This is going on in, you know, in our cosmos. So I think this is a testimony of how frequency is changing on Earth, how things are speeding up. This is due to many things, such as living in the Aquarius age. I mean, I think we are on the brink of entering, or we have just entered, also related to the Pluto Aquarius cycle. These ingredients have caused for this huge change in frequency, that things are speeding up, that we're now able to see that things are co-related, that things have a cause and an effect. Because of time speeding up, we can clearly see that, and we haven't been able to before. So for instance, like it was harder before to see that something in your childhood, some kind of trauma that you experienced, has an effect on the kind of partners you're choosing and the way you're speaking to yourself. Only in recent times that we understand even the effects of trauma, and because we can actually see it now, right? We can see that the second partner and the third partner and the first partner have so many commonalities, and that we can really see the trauma replaying in our lives. It's clearer than ever. And it's not just that, everything is. So just for instance, you have a thought and then suddenly it's materialized. You know, maybe you've also experienced that there was something that you wanted, let's say something very simple like a grocery item, okay, something you wanted, and then you go to the store and then the last product is waiting for you, just waiting for you, because it's the last product. And maybe if you hadn't held the vision in your head, you wouldn't have actually been able to find any product of that. Just an example, maybe you've experienced that. I've experienced that a lot, actually. So what you're thinking about, is materializing very quickly. And before, that was so slow and the time was drawn out. So you didn't realize that something you thought 3 years ago, after 3 years, suddenly materialized. And this can also be negative. This is not just positive. So if you think something bad, you know, it took 3 years to like materialize, but now you can see that a negative thought suddenly becomes true. And so we can be more aware of how we're talking to ourselves, how we're thinking. And this is why we are also coming into awareness the effects of words and what words really mean, the kind of energies they hold, and therefore the kind of outcome they can bring. And more and more and more, you know, there's so much more to learn. So yeah, we are in massive upgrade energy, and I think this cosmic grand cross is a testimony to that. So yeah, there's a lot going on, a lot of cosmic but massive just energetic upgrades. We're in a very different and unique, valuable, worthy time, because more than ever you're able to set yourself free, and we're able to set each other free, which is quite valuable. So there's an acceleration in dynamics that you can feel. And of course, all this Aquarius and Uranus energy, it's very intelligent, it's very smart, and it's very innovative. It's fast forward thinking, fast forward moving. It's quantum. And it opens the way for the real supernatural as we come more and more into awareness of cosmic intelligence. The last little detail in this chart is that Pluto is conjunct Mercury. So at the beginning of Aquarius, kind of close to this lunation actually. So some astrologers might take that into account. I feel the degrees are a little bit broad, but of course it plays with this lunation because they're both in Aquarius and they're both at the first decan, as they say in astrology, at the first third of a sign, right? So it's relevant, but more so the conjunction between Mercury and Pluto. What does that mean? It means our mind is very investigative. We have an X-ray vision, a no bullshit, you know, we have a bullshit filter that sees through all the lies, sees through what is really true. You know, being in such an investigative energy, we are all detectives around this lunation. So paired with the sudden insights and stuff that we receive because of an Aquarian new moon ruled by Uranus, we also have this, you know, X-ray vision, detective hat on that not only is awakened to sudden insights, but also is able to research and see into the unseen, see into the unknown, and suddenly bring things together that you didn't know before. And they are very kind of earth-shattering insights that change everything. And it becomes so much more clear to you what has been going on and what it's all about, really. With this ability that our mind is on point and is very alert and highly awakened, we have the perfect tools to work with this sparkly, promising new moon in Aquarius. So again, make sure that you hold the vision for your hopes and wishes, and may they all come true, especially in the coming 6 months. Take care and enjoy. Bye.